Welcome to Alchemy Avenue, where we transform in real time, trust the vibe, and grow on purpose. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement, a reminder that you don't need fixing, just unlocking. Around here, we laugh, we build, we heal, and we elevate, all powered by that deep inner knowing that says, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. You were made for this version of you, so let's expand, let's enjoy it, and let's keep becoming who we already are. Tap in. This is Alchemy Avenue. Welcome back to an incredible and amazing episode of Alchemy Avenue. Let's get into it today. I know that transitioning greatness has been part of different things that you've been experiencing just throughout this time. This is episode 16. I normally don't say the number, but this is episode 16. I'm excited and actually proud of myself for staying consistent and just keep building. And thank you all so much for just co-creating and listening and giving your feedback and just, on this journey with me. I cannot say thank you enough with the support. So let's go. Let's get into it today. The art of becoming the infrastructure your reality really needs. I call this Fieldcraft. So let's get it. Let's repeat that. The art of becoming the infrastructure. So the infrastructure, the physical presence your reality needs. I call that Fieldcraft. Let's break it down. So meditation is what lead me to a lot of these different sayings and a lot of these different things, even though it may have been said in another way because of course all ideas are not new. So, but the way that I'm prefacing this is not about any tricks, hacks, or not just good vibes. That's a part of it. Not just good vibes. Fieldcraft is the intentional embodiment of art becoming so aligned in your energy that reality calibrates around you. So now we're talking about I am the focal point, how I feel and how I operate and how my field. And if you may not understand what field is your aura, your essence, your energy around you. Everything has a presence, has a field of energy, and how you tailor and how you incorporate and cultivate. That's what I wanted. Cultivate. And I say cultivate as a sign of working on your field and how you operate. Then that just brings and opens up the world and experiences to you in the way that you feel. Because God, the universe, source, the quantum field doesn't give you what you say, and it gives what you're vibrating and how your frequency is. To me, that's how you get the things. And then at times you may get those things, but they aren't as clean. So that's why Fieldcraft is very important to understand how. Today we're going to walk through how we, cultivate and how we just be more mindful of our field and just our expectation of what we want life to look like for us. It's not manifestation in the casual sense, it's construction at the level of frequency. So we're constructing and trying to get a better understanding. No, not trying. We're going to have a better understanding of our level of frequency. And I say you, we, because your frequency matters. Your frequency. So let's get into it. So really I want to break down craft, because we hear like different ways that craft is used, and Fieldcraft is no different. So just break down when you add craft to something, what that really means. So like witchcraft, skilled practice of working with unseen and natural forces. I know people get spooked out when you say witchcraft, but I mean, that's just what it is. Skill practice of working with unseen and natural forces. Spellcraft, shaping intention through sound, symbol, and frequency. Shaping intention through sound, symbol, and frequency. Spellcraft. So spellcraft, from just that definition, that's basically what music is. Basically what music is. And I heard I forgot what I was watching, but I heard something. I've never heard it like this. And I mean, I'm not saying everybody has to agree with it. I don't even care about that. But I heard we are all sorcerers because we are from source. And that just was like, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfectly good sense because when people hear witchcraft, spellcraft, they always go into the negative, not really understanding we do it every day. Every day we do it. Every day. Stagecraft, constructing immersive experiences through illusion and design. Wordcraft, shaping perception with precision language. Statecraft, navigating leadership and power with strategic wisdom. Fieldcraft, managing your energetic field to stabilize your reality. Handicraft, manifesting from the manifesting form through sacred hands on skill. All these different things you see those throughout the day with different people have jobs and construction and architecture and everything. So I mean, craft really means you don't just have energy to hone to do something, you hone it. You're not just aware, you practice. You don't just believe in power, you become fluid in its operation. So when we say fieldcraft, the refined art of becoming so energetically coherent that your life has no choice but to match you. It doesn't. That's why I was saying it's important for us to construction at the level of frequency. That's what I mean by that. That it refines the art of becoming so energetically coherent that life, whatever experience, life, there's no other way life can show up for you. Your frequency is good. You honing yourself, shadow work, all that stuff. All just once you do all that, you feel great about yourself. Now you work on yourself intentionally, and you feel great intentionally. That's an intentional way to move. It's intentional. So now your life has to match it. There's no other way. No other way. So let's kind of break it into historical and cultural roots of craft, because I want us to understand the word craft and how that shapes everything we already do. But understanding that if you already have a mind, so if we get to the point where we have a mind of focus, that we can, it's okay, and it's really the only way to move, in my opinion. It's okay for you to care about how you feel and understanding taking care of you and what that will look like moving forward with how life unfolds for you. So in like ancient Kemet, Egypt, they aligned with cosmic order like Mayat. Mayat was a way of living, the 42 laws of Mayat. So just understanding how you didn't just say those things and you live by those things. No. You embody those teachings. You embody those lessons. And they also use the temples as frequency architectures. So we go back even further to like Atlantis, Lemuria, mystic civilizations as architects of high frequency living. So just from just reading and meditation, in those times, they didn't necessarily it's like in Atlantis and Lemuria. They didn't say, okay, if I want to call someone, they didn't think, oh, I need to make a device that I can call. No, they use telepathy. So anything they wanted to do, their body, their essence was just an extension of that action that they wanted to do. They didn't say, I need to create something that's outside of me to communicate with someone that's not physically here. Or if they are here, how do I communicate? So that's what, in my just reading and different things that I've, came up on, that's how they operated, and that's how they use craft, and that's how they use different technologies. So like current African villages, they embody wisdom. So like African villages are really heavy on the wisdom from like the ancestors and their own spoken history, because they may not write a lot of things down. They speak their history, so the information is passed down, generation to generation. So that's they use that embodied wisdom, collective resonance, and ritual integration into daily life. So they craft from just being wise and having elders in place to better understand. Because what I've seen too in the African like villages and like the way that the culture is in Africa is that they'll, when a woman's pregnant, the mother would channel the spirit of the child and ask the child, why are you coming here during this time? What are you here to do? The child, that spirit will tell the villagers, and then when the child comes, then they already know what to do with the child. I already know the level of craftness far as what they're going to hone skill wise, and the thing about that too, they already have people that have already in place to do whatever that is. So that's amazing that it's just a collective circle of community that they think about. They think about that, and even if some cultures don't do that, the child, whenever the child is born, when the child comes and gets to a certain age, they have different areas of the village that they go and work with. So it's just a community. You know what I mean? It's just a community of people understanding what this child is, how this child is. What is the child naturally adaptive, and what is this child naturally attuned to. And now let's cultivate, help them craft the skills, craft the knowledge, craft the work ethic to be able to do whatever that is. And not saying you have to be just focused on one thing, because I think we're infinite. So I think a lot of us, have multiple talents in different areas. So, but that's just the one area that we can, hone in, and then but then a lot of stuff too translates. A lot of things translate. So you got to understand what you want to do and how you want to do it. And then that just helps. That just helps in any field or anything that you want to get into. So now you don't have to be nervous when you're in rooms. You don't have to have imposter syndrome because you're there. You're here. And now you can just move with, precision and clarity because you're there. So just kind of want to get a better understanding of like this word craft is not something that I just kind of thought out and just put these things together. No. There's something that has been done, over lifetimes. One other point, historical point, like the African, like the enslaved Africans. When we first got over here, we was wiped of like our, we was stripped of our language, land, lineages, artisans. So we were stripped of all that. We were stripped of everything that we, did when we got over here. Or some people say either way. Because some people say we was already here, which I get it. To me, it makes sense. So, but either way, during that time of chattel slavery, we were stripped of all our knowledge, our heritage, and just who we are. But the great thing about us as African Americans is that we still, were able to, cultivate land, artists, inventors, healers. You know, we were able to still do countless things with agriculture, architecture, music, and science, math. We were able to build this infrastructure of America through our talents and gifts, even with the disadvantages we've had. So let's think about this. So we really crafted a sense of ownership whenever we came up with these ideas. Because there's no way we should have been able to do it. But again, I think this is just my opinion. We were channeling. Once we got into a space, we were channeling, and because there's no way, with having all those different disadvantages, that we were still able to be inventors, be mathematicians. I'm talking about mathematicians, not just, we were able to solve problems on a paper. No. We was able to build the GPS system. We was able to navigate rockets in space and do a lot of those different things and all the other inventions that we have came up with. So just understand what craft has done in the past, and this is where we come from. This is you. This is you. So understanding that craft is more than just a word or a buzzword. It is definitely honing the skills, not even the skills that of different things that you want to do. Understand you have that in you already. If they say that diseases and all these different things can come from your DNA, if they say all those things can come from your DNA, just think of all. So we always focus on the bad things. What about all the amazing things that are still in our DNA that we have yet unlocked? Didn't know I was gonna go to that direction, but that's just where we at, because it makes perfectly good sense though. Just understand that if we crafted and we honed our skills and we were able to work and invent and do all these different great things with those least of like the worst conditions. I'm calling it the worst conditions. And now we don't see the value in ourselves. You just gotta understand what's been done. All right, so Fieldcraft versus wishful thinking. I call it wishcraft. So Fieldcraft versus wish, and I'm saying like WISH, wishcraft. So wishful thinking, hoping without foundation, externally dependent, fragile under pressure. Fieldcraft is coherent and embodied. Your energy holds its shape when it's tested, because you're gonna get tested. Something's gonna happen, and I'm saying like, oh my God, I should pass this thing. No. It's a test to allow you to use the different things that you have done to make yourself a better, version of you. And now you get to put those practices in the way that you are to actual physical work. Okay, this situation would have destroyed me, or this situation would have made me super angry or triggered me in all kind of ways before. Now I get to, okay, let me be more proactive than reactive. What do I need to do? What do I need to give in this moment? So that's what part of Fieldcraft does. Why the difference matters. So without embodiment, we talk about that a lot. Intention collapses under chaos. It does. Without being embodied to who you really are and the true love, appreciation of yourself, then when things happen, you can collapse and fold. And if that happens, dust yourself off, get up, and then you keep moving. Now you have that information, that data. Okay, I did this. Now, what do I want to do next time to be, to have to have a more harmonious result. Okay? I'm not gonna say better because we're all learning. We're all learning. That's just the lesson I need to learn. It hit me way harder than I thought it was going to hit me, but now I'm back up. I'm back moving. I know how to move next time. I know how to definitely move next time. Wishful thinking is throwing a seed on the ground and hoping for a tree. Fieldcraft is preparing the soul, planting, watering, and knowing the harvest is inevitable. It's inevitable because you've done all those different steps. You've done those steps. And now I'm just being patient, and I expect a harvest. I expect a harvest. And what's the harvest? The best life the best life that you can't even imagine. I say it like that. The best life you can't imagine. Because you could think, I want this, and that, and I want how this goes. But once you start operating, when your field is great and you feel amazing and you keep, your mind is sharp. That's what I think is the hack is when your mind is sharp and you can move with clarity and precision, and things just open up for you and happen for you, and you're like, wow, of course it's supposed to happen for me. And not in an egotistical way, like nothing can touch you, but you should expect it. Once you start doing the work, you should really expect amazing and great things to happen for you. So the 5 tactical aspects of Fieldcraft: frequency hygiene, protecting your signal by reducing static. So reducing static, examples: gossip, fear loops, constant overstimulation. Attunement practice, daily rituals to align energy, meditation. Breath work is amazing if you do like language, if you speak it, if you draw it. Intentional movement. So movement, yoga, dancing, walking, exercise. I say dancing again, just random breakouts of, excitement. Yes. Yes. So, ancestral signal integrity, honoring where your gift came from so the frequency doesn't get diluted. That's exactly what we were just talking about when I was talking about the DNA. And you are so talented. We are so talented. We have that in us. We have that. So that's not even so let's look at this. To me, let's look at it at a full circle of what that means. So ancestral signal integrity, honoring where your gifts came from so the frequency doesn't get diluted. Some of us have been through so much trauma as kids, young adults, and different things with like family, friends, mainly family, that we don't even understand the gifts that they had that we could physically see. Cause drugs, being in and out of jail, just the mindset of just lack. We miss it because again, some of us have been through a lot of different things, and we don't think about those people in that way because just again situations, but understanding that that's inside of you as well. So not even just talking about your aunts, uncles, your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents, the different skills and the different things that they've had. There's no way with even like great grandparents, let's talk about that. How some of them didn't have formal education, but there's no way that they were able to still provide, still able to be inventive, and still be able to cook and do the different things that they did to make sure everybody was good without honing a skill and being able to, problem solve and being able to be creative. That's inside of you. That right there is inside of you. That's where you come from. regardless of, if you can, the trauma, you can just move that to the side just for a second to better see, okay, what good things and talents and different things that I can recognize. And even if you don't know, ask your grandparents. If you're blessed enough to still have your grandparents, ask them. Hey, and you don't have to come. I mean, if you put in a relationship, you can just come. Hey, let me hear about when you were a kid. What different things did you see? Because I did it with my grandma. She transitioned in January this year. But before then, I used to go over there and sit down and talk to her for several hours. You know, she'll tell me a lot of different things about when she was a kid, and some of our family had stores where they was making different lampshades, and I think we had dry cleaners and some other businesses and some other different things that we were doing. Um, yeah, that right there just showed me, okay, wow. So we been, and then I got some uncles that could, man, if they was sitting right here as I was doing this podcast, they could literally draw me sitting here doing this podcast. Got a couple uncles like that. A couple uncles that can sing, cousins that can play instruments. My younger sister, she's never had piano lessons, and this is when we was kids. She's never had piano lessons, never. Taught herself when we had a keyboard. We always used to mess around, do a little, interesting stuff, just concerts. Well, we just, what I'm saying. However, she taught herself how to play Fairlease. Because on those keyboards, you can have like it has like the different built-in songs. She taught herself how to play. She did. Again, brilliant. Again, just life get to us. So just understanding that's already inside of you. And now you just got to figure out, what do you want to do, and then hone it. You hone it. And then the next level of that is when we get into Fieldcraft, because now you understand you. Because you can't, to me, Fieldcraft or understanding your field and just being able to, love yourself, if you don't get to the point where you've done some work and now you understand who you are, and now you really get why you should feel good all the time, why it's important for you to be okay. Well, actually, more than okay, feel great and amazing. It is important. It's very important. So now you can understand why you should cultivate your field, your energy, your vibration, why that matters. Conductivity through worthiness. Seeing worthiness not as feeling good about yourself, but as your capacity to hold and transmit clean energy. Infrastructure thinking, building inner stability so outer opportunities naturally lock in. That's what we're talking about. Infrastructural thinking, building inner stability so the outer opportunities, whatever you envision or whatever you want to do, naturally, it's just a logical next step for you. Logically, it just makes sense for you to have the opportunity of your dreams, or the opportunity that you can even imagine. That's the logical next step. Logical. Just saying. What happens when you think this way? This part here is this is this is very interesting part of this journey. What happens when you think this way? Opportunities self-organize around you. Not from chasing, but from residence. Challenges stop feeling like derailments. That part. So, at least for me, and I can just give full examples. So whenever a challenge happens, either I've already got the solution in some other form, and I just didn't know that this challenge was coming. So it's just literally just insert solution, or it'll happen, and then I'm getting guidance. So okay, move this way, do this, or the solution that just present itself. It happens. Relationships shift naturally. You attract those in sync with your field. Your nervous system stays steady. You're no longer destabilized by uncertainty. That's definitely my nervous system is still trying to just you good, you good, you good, you good, you good. That's what I have to keep telling myself that you are more than good. You are at the point where you're thriving, you're thriving, you're thriving. The random miracles increase, synchronicities become your baseline. So the random miracles become just everyday life for you. Everyday life. Applying Fieldcraft to daily life. Start with one attunement practice, the one frequency hygiene habit. Just pick one of those frequency hygiene habits. Just pick one. Just pick one. Identify a current signal leak and seal it this week. It's fine. Just ask yourself, where is my signal leaking? And pick that area and just, you know, work on it. See, it's not this it's information and the way it's presented, at least the way it's presented to me, it's not hard. It's just, do we really want to do it? And do we think we deserve to have it? That's the bigger part. Because you can get all the information from all these master teachers, channelings, psychics, anywhere. You get all the information. But if you don't believe you can have it, it's not going to work. It's just not. It's not. It's not. And now you're going to be sitting there, you know, with all the information and giving it to everybody else, but you can't give it to yourself, or you can't use it for yourself. To me, that is very interesting. And I don't say this to people to be like, ha ha ha. Because when they come up to me asking about different religions and different things, and I always ask, I listen to the information because I like information, and especially when people want to deliver it to me. You know, okay, if I got time to listen, I'll listen. And then I always ask, though, but how has this information worked for you? And they always look at me like, I'm not saying, and I tell them I'm not saying it to like really, you know what I'm saying, like try to be like, ah ha ha, or, you know, I got you. No, I really want to know. Because if you can't give me, because I can, this is what I'm doing. The information that I'm providing through these different podcasts is what I do and how it works for me. It works out amazing. Not saying everything is perfect and I don't have any challenges. I don't have any different things that happen. And I'm not perfect anyway. So sometimes I want to do certain things and sometimes I don't. I don't. That is what it is, you know. But so once I ask them that question, they look at me funny, and they just don't know how to answer it sometimes. Well, most times they don't. Or they don't. The answer they have is really not. It's a really surface level answer, you know. Because I ask, so then they'll say, you know, well, you know, you being in this space, you know, I can definitely walk and as a, you know, whatever. And I ask, okay, so how was your 3D life? You know, how does that, you know, help you, you know, to attract more, to do more, to live the life of your dreams? And again, they just look at me like, what is this dude talking about? I mean, again, to me, that's just legitimate questions because the questions that I'm asking, I can give you clear cut answers. That's even when people, because if you don't know my background, me and my wife, I grew up in church. My wife grew up in church. We were, you know, leaders in a church. We left a church to start a church, very successful. And I can tell you, at least for me, the information that I have gained throughout these last, you know, 4 years, 5 years has definitely changed my life. You know, I feel so much lighter and feel so much better, you know, through just everything that I've experienced. And I can get into that one day, just the transition and then how I got to this space I'm at now. So, all right. So notice Your default inner stance when making decisions. Does it feel like wishful hoping or stable building? Treat every small alignment choice as if you're adding a being to your personal reality structure. So I really hope this helped, because it's just thinking about how this episode has, rounded out is definitely thoroughly helpful for me. Thoroughly helpful. So this isn't like a hocus pocus, like a voila kind of situation when I'm talking about fieldcraft. It's not about escaping reality. I know some people really don't want to be here, and they say this is their last incarnation on Earth. I get it. I get it. It's about structuring it. Fieldcraft is your right and your responsibility. Your ancestors lived it. It keeps going back to that, and I did not do that on purpose. I really just connected those dots live right here about our ancestors, and just the different. If they talk so much about the how this is inherited. This is inherited. Oh, my diabetes or whatever condition. It's because my mama had it, my daddy had it, my grandma had it. If they can say that, what about all the other good things, all the other powerful things that they've done and that were passed down? Sorry, I just again, yeah. And then also too, also too, not even just your ancestors. What about the other timelines of yourself, your dreams, the different things that you get from your dreams? You may be giving things in your dreams, but you also are receiving things in your dreams as well from different timelines of yourself. So just be mindful of that. I'm only saying that because I recently just had a dream last night, and that showed me that you are definitely receiving information, insight, and help. You are never alone. I'm gonna leave it right there. Entire civilizations encoded it. When you embody it, you don't have to force results. Life meets you at the frequency you've mastered. And here's the truth. You've already been doing some form of this your entire life. Now you get to do it on purpose, because you've been cultivating. You've been, cultivating your field, but it's been in a way of lack and distrust. And it's only the distrust for yourself. That's all it is. Um, Life meets you at the frequency you've mastered, and just understanding that, just completely understand that now we get to do it on purpose, have a wonderful and amazing way that we move and operate. The more coherent you become, the less negotiation you have with reality. The more coherent you become, the less negotiation you have with reality. You don't have to negotiate anymore, or it's minimal, because it already knows what you want, what you need, and it's going to give it to you. It's going to give it to you. It is. It is. Because your presence already decides the outcome. So yeah, I really excited about us and how we're going to move and operate, and then being able to love ourselves, to be able to move with passion and power. So thank y'all so much for rocking with me today. Again, anything you need, holla at me. Alchemy Avenue 859 at Gmail. Appreciate everything. Love yourself so you can love others. Ashe.